Welcome everybody. Welcome to the TurnUp Chronicles with the TurnUp crew. My name is YemitheturnupMC.
And I'm DJ Opey, your unlimited vibes machine.
Thank you. We now ask you for all these details. I'm not pitching an investment.
Guy, every time you have to sell yourself. Every time.
Okay, well, there's no problem. All right. So glad to have you guys today.
Yeah, so we're just like Yemi's in my house right now. We have a wedding later today. I said, hey, why not shoot a podcast and talk about some things? Because anytime we get together, we always have like really funny things to talk about from all our different experiences. And I'm like, hey, let's give these people some of this gist that we have.
It's a long time coming, I guess. It's finally we're trying to do something and have a memoir or something about our conversations. And I think you guys would come along, have fun with us in the process. Everything is always unscripted, so pardon our bloopers and but it's gonna be fun.
You guys bear with us. So we don't really have a name yet, but the name we're kind of thinking about. Hey, calm down now. The name we're kind of thinking about is the TurnUp Chronicles, right?
Yes, the TurnUp Chronicles.
The TurnUp Chronicles, because we're the TurnUp crew. Actually, there are more people, but we are the TurnUp crew, and we have a lot of things to talk about. So we're probably gonna call it the TurnUp Chronicles.
Yeah, like it's gonna have different editions, different episodes. So Chronicles, you just keep flipping it.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think about that name in the comments. If you like that name, we like it.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be a lot of Chronicles in this.
Yeah, exactly right.
All right, so we're gonna go proper into it. So this is the TurnUp Chronicles with YemitheturnupMC, and you have DJ Opey. So one of the first things we're gonna start with is you get to know us a little bit. So this section of it is called Who Is. So who is YemitheturnupMC and who is DJ Opey? And we're asking things like where did you grow up? When did you start emceeing? And then we're going through some other things. So Yemi, do you want to start?
Why always me? Why?
Balotelli.
All right, yeah, YemitheturnupMC. Full name is Okoyemi Oduni. Obviously I'm Nigerian. I'm Yoruba.
No, we didn't know.
You didn't know. Now you know. Because some people tell me I'm Igbo. I look Igbo sometimes.
Sometimes, actually, you look like someone that could be Emeka.
Or Collins.
You go to sell spare parts. Spare parts. There's no spare parts that Collins doesn't have.
We have it. We have it. I chairman. We have just sit down. We'll go to next shop. It's in our storehouse. So we'll get it. Don't worry.
So yeah, where did you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria. Family of when I say family of them, I'm trying to be. I have a kid brother, so family of two, but we're usually three. We lost our elder brother a long while ago, but yeah. So
sorry about that.
Yeah. I automatically became the firstborn. Firstborn responsibilities. But
that one is already another topic. Another topic on its own. Firstborn responsibilities.
Yeah. So family of four now, but we never lived alone. It's always a big family. So it's hard to say family of something because we're like a huge family. So, and my parents are they're ministers. They're clergymen. Or clergyman and woman, I guess. So I'm a PK, I guess.
Pastor's kid.
That's another topic
and
again.
He doesn't behave anything like a PK. I'm kidding. All right, I will answer. My name is also Okpeyemi, so we are both Okpeyemi, and that thing confuses our clients all the time because we do a lot of events together. For those of you that don't know, he's an MC, I'm a DJ. We do a lot of weddings and birthdays.
Corporate events and things like that, whatever you want to do.
Like literally when we're introducing ourselves in our introductory talent calls. So when we're introducing ourselves in our introductory client calls, like either Yemi starts or I start, I say my name is Okweyemi, and then Yemi will come on it and say my name is Okweyemi, and they'll be a little bit confused. So like what we started doing was I'll say my name is DJ Opey, Okwe or DJ Opey, and then he goes by Yemi. When we're together, so that way it doesn't confuse them. So Okwe and Yemi, but we're both Okwe and Yemi. So that's a little bit. My name is Okwe Yemi. I grew up in Nigeria as well, in Ibadan, Oyo State. Shout out to Oyo State and all the Omo Ibadans out there. And I started DJing in 2017, but my first official gig was in 2018 February. So I agreed to start DJing in I say I agreed, like they forced me. I actually bought equipment in 2017, but my first gig was February 2018. And we'll talk about a little bit of that later. But that's a little bit about me. So I have a question for you, Yemi. Okay, so how did you start MCing actually?
Well, also, I mean, there are two versions of it. There's the pro version and just the usual version. Well, do we count pro versions to when you started getting paid for it?
No, just started like when you are doing freebies.
I mean, the funniest thing is people don't know we still do freebies till now.
We shouldn't tell them.
We shouldn't tell them. I mean, it depends on I mean, it's intimate freebies. It's not like everybody.
I mean, but for our close friends,
our close friends, our family.
We'll still do freebies.
We have to do some things now for family. Yeah,
he MC part of my wedding for free for me, and I DJ'd his wedding for free. So
that's how it is.
Yeah,
honor among vendors.
Yep.
So we. I mean, it started. I mean, mostly everything started in church, being a PK, you always have to wear many hats, so get to be in the youth ministry as well, and MC some events, and I was just doing it, passionately back then. It was not like really a thing. Then fast forward till I moved to the US for my master's, and being in school, MCing some stuffs and things like that. I think one of the biggest event that I MC back in school during my master's days was we had this international bazaar that we had people. It was like almost 400 people, and I was a co-MC. I think that was the highlight of my MCing career that back then. But I mean, all those things were still like free stuffs. But I would say, and this is a fun fact, because one thing I have come to realize, or maybe I knew before and I didn't, is that those things that you do when you're not being paid and you do it passionately.
Are you guys listening?
And when it gets to that point whereby people will recommend you for things. I remember my first paid gig. It was it came from a friend back in my master's after we all graduated, and we were in different spheres of life, pursuing different things. Shout out to Ibrahim, by the way. Ibrahim was a real G. He just called me out of the blues one day, like, I got those people that want to do a birthday, and I told them you're an MC. I mean, honestly, I was not even pursuing that career back then. I was not really thinking about going pro with MCing, and I was like, well, my wife was like, you can do it. And shout out to my wife too. All those women, they are the ones that push us. They can push.
Push us.
Marry a good woman though. So she just was like, do it. And that was it for me. That was when I went pro. And that was my first event. And that was before I got married, I think. I think it was in 2020.
Yeah.
It was before I got married. Yeah, it was in 2020. Yeah. And from there, we've just been...
Yeah.
Awesome.
So for me, how I got into DJing, it was almost kind of like that. So one of my friends was the DJ in the college town where we were at. That's in Kansas. He was the main African DJ, and then he was moving to Atlanta. And at that point, I had moved out of Kansas, but I was moving back in, and he was moving the same week I was moving back into town. He was leaving, so there was a void of good Afrobeat African DJ, that kind of thing. So in my mind, and even with this podcast, my mind is always thinking fast. So I'm like, this is an opportunity. We are instrumentalists, so we know certain things about sounds and everything. So just side note, so Yemi is a drummer and he plays the keyboard as well. I also play the keyboard. I'm
not a professional keyboardist, so let's be he learned it on the fly, so but we can stay with our ground. Glory be to God.
Yeah, in fact tomorrow I'm looking forward to jamming with him at church. So we'll get back into how we met in a second. But so there was a void of a DJ, and he was moving to Atlanta. I was moving back to Kansas. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start DJing. This was October of 2017. Going to start DJing. So I started researching. I bought myself a MacBook because I thought every DJ has to use a MacBook. I still use MacBooks still today, but you can't use anyone. So I bought myself a MacBook. I'm like, I've already invested $8,000 into this. So I said, okay, I should buy speakers. I didn't have any gigs or anything lined up. But there was this lady at my church. A shout out to some good people that think about you even when you're not thinking about yourself. She had recommended me for a gig for I think it was a 50th birthday. Another lady's 50th birthday. Like I didn't even tell her I was DJing. And she just said, oh, I know this guy, at least in church. He used to handle all these music things. And she recommended me for the gig. And I did the gig in February. So we talked in like December. I did the gig in February. I didn't even know what I was doing at that point. But I did it. And she actually paid me. Wow. She actually paid me for the gig.
What was your first pay? Fee?
Can I say it? Yeah, I'll say it. My first pay was actually supposed to be $150. But the lady didn't have, she gave me $20 denomination. So instead of giving me $160, she gave me $140. So my first payment was $140.
Wow. Yeah. You know, now that you're talking about it now, you know, it's so funny because my first gig that I got paid was a 50th birthday too.
Oh, 50th birthday! Wow, I didn't even know.
It was interesting.
I didn't even do that.
Yeah, but I mean, I got paid like $600 though.
The guy is flexing. He's flexing on. I got paid.
But
like
that time, when I was saying so, I was happy that I was getting paid though, because I was doing it for free before now. So when I hear this one, I was like, hey, there's money in this thing.
Yeah, even me, like when they were going to give me, like I was expecting like $90. Because the going price for a DJ was like $100 in the town. And I'm like, I'm not even a professional DJ yet. So she won't pay me $100. So I was, if she really asked me, I was going to say like $80 or $90. But she just went up to $150. So I wasn't expecting I'll have done it for free. I've done that for free because I was trying to get my name out there. Yeah.
I mean, just like you just stated now, I think this is also a lesson for everyone. Like, sometimes you just gotta just jump right to it. You can't wait till you have everything figured out. You can't wait until you're a pro.
Until everything is perfect.
Mixer. You can mix very well before you now start launching. Sometimes we can learn on the fly. We can learn on the job and keep getting better. So as long as you desire something, let's I think it's always nice to pursue the goals. Sometimes you just want to start. Just start first, then you start figuring along the way if it's something that you really like. I think because like the example you stated, you went ahead, you bought a laptop, you bought speakers for something that you haven't even gotten a client yet.
I didn't even know I was going to get a client.
And you did, and that shows like zeal and desire for something. And most of us were always trying to figure things out to the end goal before we even start at all.
One thing I was going to touch on is, you know, when picking some of these things to do, like your driving force shouldn't be the money. First of all, you know, like a lot of times, if you're going to pick a side gig, it's not the one that they forced you to go and do. You're going to pick something that, okay, I actually enjoy doing this, and you know, probably want to get better at this thing. You should pick one that you know you're passionate about, and if you're passionate about, like, the money and all of that will come later, but just like your passion will really drive you to where you're not just looking at the money, but you're looking at, I really want to get better at this thing, and I really want to do a good job for the client, and that way you deliver a better service. The last thing we'll talk about in this segment real quick is how we met. I'll say a little bit. So we met in a small town in Illinois, and it was at church. Figure. Pastor Skid is at church. So I came to the church, and Yemi was on the keyboard, and he was playing, and I'm like, you know, as an instrumentalist, for those of you that are instrumentalists, you understand this thing. Your mind just gets drawn to different people playing instruments and how they're playing it. So I was looking at him, I was watching how he was playing, you know, I was enjoying what he was doing. But as an instrumentalist, your head, like,
I want to figure out the error. Is he playing that thing very well? Is he not playing it very well?
or what did he just do? Man, you know, I should try to do that kind of thing. So he noticed. You noticed that?
Yeah, I could feel that there was a set of eyes on me.
Yeah,
I
there
could
was
sense
extra
it.
eyes.
Extra eyes. I was like looking up.
The heat was hitting the side of his face. So yeah, I worshipped at the church, had a really great service, and met with Yemi after. And I told Yemi I was an instrumentalist as well, and he said I knew,
Yeah, like I knew, I could feel your eyes
from the way you were looking. So we now jammed. We had like a 20-minute jam session after service that day. Then everybody that was supposed to be going home,
you're now dancing.
They came back and were dancing, and it was just a really nice moment. There's a lot more to that story, but I'm gonna keep it there. But that's how we met, and this was in 2020.
2020. Yes.
2020. I think it was February 10, 2020.
Oh, you remember I did? I don't remember again.
Yeah, I remember the first time I stepped into the church. Yeah. So wow. And it turned out we were namesakes. We were really close in age. We were in the same point in life. And this was right before COVID. So COVID.
We should talk about visa issues too. Status when we get to that point.
We'll talk about this. There are so many things to unravel. But this was right before COVID, and it was like God has sent me like some. I was dating my fiance at the time, but it was like God has sent me like a male companion at that time, because COVID came with its own challenges, lockdown. We were still both working.
Yeah.
But myself and Yemi, because Yemi was working in the town I was living in, he would come and stay in my house almost the whole week, and we would chat. We knew each other's significant others at the time. We'd chat. Don't laugh. Okay. Yeah, I know why you're laughing.
I know.
but it's okay. So we did all of that, and and the friendship has been growing since then.
And shout out to Ife too, Dr. Ife, because I knew when I spoke to her the first time, she was like, I've heard a lot about you. I'm like, me too.
It's always like that. So that's really how we met.